Jack Kennedy jokingly referred to Washington as a city of Southern efficiency and Northern charm. Like most gentle verbal jibes of that type, there is more than a snowflake of truth in that remark. In fact, it is snow that exposes the limits of our nation's capital with stunning clarity. How fitting that the forecast for the District of Columbia this morning called for a wintry mix, because frozen precipitation in any form often leads to mix-ups and general mayhem in and around the Capitol Beltway. 19 years ago, a blizzard befell Washington and forced President Clinton to do what he always insisted he wouldn't: shut down the government. Well, he did so for an entire week, declaring D.C. and 9 states federal disaster areas. For the record, a foot of snow fell on Washington in 24 hours, as Saturday gave way to Sunday, and it all started back on January 6, 1996. Overall, what's become known as the blizzard of '96 blamed for killing 154 people, causing more than $1 billion in damages as well. If you're looking for a first-hand account from me, sorry, that Saturday morning before the first snowflakes fell, I was on a plane back to my Arizona district. When I got back home to Scottsdale and turned on the TV, I got a look at East Capitol Street. We had an apartment on that street at that time, and what I saw made me glad I was not in Washington. Cars were covered in snow. They were parallel parked along the street. The snow was up to the windows. Then a news crew interviewed the Korean grocer who had a store just down the block. He uttered the now famous soundbite from that storm when he stood in front of the cameras and exclaimed, "No eggs, no milk, no bread, all gone, all out." By the way, I understand today's Washington Post features an article that chronicles why eggs and bread and milk might not be the items you should stock up on before a snowstorm, but I'll leave it to that publication to explain why. Instead, you and I will focus on Washington as a winter wonderland and wonder why certain actions that are taken on snow days have more of a ring of truth than we get on other days in D.C. For example, snow days in Washington feature radio announcements that not only chronicle school closings, but also inevitably include this utterance: all non-essential government personnel can stay home. Those bureaucrats who come up to Capitol Hill to tell Congress how important it is to spend more money each year on their agencies are the same people who stay home on snow days, deeming themselves non-essential. Maybe Congress would do well to view budgeting and appropriations through the permanent lens of a snow day. That way, tax dollars, really your money after all, could be spent only on what's essential. We do know that the House has taken an action that I view as positive. GOP leaders announced they have postponed a vote on a border security bill, a bill Congressman Walter Johnson of North Carolina warned was a Trojan horse. One of the principal problems with the legislation is the provision that would require operational control of the border in, wait for it, 5 years. We've been waiting long enough. Why do we need another 5 years to get control of our borders? How about doing it within a single year? Fact is, that should have been done a long time ago, at least a decade ago. More than a decade ago, Mary would send our kids back to D.C. with me when they were on spring break, and often their spring break would feature a winter-type storm in early spring. My folks would drive up from North Carolina to get some quality time with their Arizona grandkids while I would be doing my job on Capitol Hill. And once upon a time, our middle daughter Hannah was with me. My parents had arrived in D.C. from N.C., and the snow began to fall. Since Congress was already in session, we kept right on working, and the snow kept right on falling. Between votes, I stepped off the floor of the House of Representatives, walked over in the Speaker's lobby, and looked out the window. I could make out through the snow 2 figures playing in the snow on Capitol Hill: Hannah and Papa John, my dad, her grandfather, building a snowman, something seldom done in the Sonoran Desert around Scottsdale, but in almost a surreal moment, a special memory for my family on a day in that city known for Southern efficiency and Northern charm. That's a memory I'll have, and that's the way I see it.